the living word, lamp of God. I have victory in you. Oh, I'm a seed of Abraham, a joint heir with Christ. The victory is mine, 'cause I am yours, more than conqueror. You have made a way, I always win. Oh, victory is in Jesus. Nobody.
Positive Impact is an exciting. Hello viewers, you're welcome to Positive Impact. Positive Impact is an exciting and entertaining program where we have professionals share their perspective on burning issues, as well as enlighten the viewers and also preferring solution. Today we're going to talk on the role of a pastor's wife. I have with me today the wife of the lead pastor of the Prince of Life Church International. Her name is Mrs. Victoria Sam Eju. Madam, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
I know you would want to introduce yourself properly to us. I didn't say everything. Could you tell us more about yourself?
Okay, just like you said, I'm the wife of the lead pastor, the Prince of Life Church International, and I'm a pastor's wife.
I know that. Yeah.
And also, not just that, I cut across from there to also I go at other things like academics and all the rest.
Okay.
So I have my first degree in English and my master's in communication.
Wonderful.
And also, I have a book. I'm a writer, I'm an author.
Interesting.
My first book is The Friendly Deceiver. And in a few days' time, I'll be launching my second book, which is The Attractive Pie.
Who is a pastor's wife? Can you tell us?
When we say who is a pastor's wife, it cuts across so many things. Now, when you say who is a pastor's wife, we can't really specify who a pastor's wife is as per look or actions, because different persons with different perspective and different looks and what they believe in. So from my own perspective, a pastor's wife is one that has been set aside to assist the husband in the ministry, to help him in his assignment, to make sure that that which God has ordained him or proposed him to be comes to pass.
So how do you balance, the duties of a wife and a pastor? How do you balance the duties of a pastor's wife and the church? No. How do you balance the duties of a pastor's wife and the marriage?
Okay. Now, when it comes to the church and marriage, these things are two different things that are very important. Now, I don't mix them up. What I do is, when it comes to church and the things that has to do with church, I focus and I do it, but when I get home, my home is my home. My husband is my husband. There is this thing I always believe. The man of God is actually a man before he became the man of God. Yes. And this man needs attention. So when you talk about church and marriage, you know, some persons make this mistake of when they come to the house, they are this holier than thou attitude. They want to bring in the things in the church. They want, please, somebody should make food for my husband. I'm busy, I'm praying, I'm doing this. No, it is not meant to be. When you come back to the house, the man should feel that he has a wife. He needs to be cared for. He needs to be taken care of. The kids also needs you as a mother to take care of them. So I think from my own view or from my own self, what I do is when I go to church, I do the things there. And after there, when I come back home, I take care of the home. I take care of my husband. I take care of the kids. I don't allow those things of ministry to affect my home, because a time will come when it will tell on the kids, and it will also tell on the relationship between I and the man before we talk about the man of God.
Okay, so in the church, you play a specific role? Or?
Yeah, I can't really say I play a specific role. What I do in the church, I allow myself to be versatile. Okay? So what I do is, in church, I allow myself to play different roles. For instance, in the children's department, sometimes I just go to my children's department, you know, teach them, play with them, show them some love, and I'm there for them. Then in the church, apart from teaching and preaching, which normally every pastor's wife should do, I make sure I reach out to the single and married, which is a series. I do that every month. It's a series. So I make sure that I put up a situation whereby the single and the married come up with their questions, and then we answer, we'll rub minds together, then we'll reach out to those things that are hurting their marriages, helping the singles to also grow and also be able to locate their true life partners. So that I do. And also I assist in the area of making sure that the groups in the church are actually functional. When I mean groups, I mean the men, the women, the youths. We have the teens, and before we come to the children. So I make sure that those groups are functional, that they are doing well. I think.
Okay, so as a pastor's wife, what are the challenges that you face in the church?
Challenges. Yeah. When we talk about challenges, there are much.
Let's just have a few.
Few of them, okay. Now, number one challenge, I will talk for myself, and I also have that notion that some other pastor's wife also pass through same thing. Now, as a pastor's wife, the first challenge I had, which by God's grace I'm trying to overcome, is the challenge of some persons, you know, not trying to look down on you. You're not the how will I put it? You're not the pastor, the main pastor. You are just a pastor's wife. So that you're not the anointed one. So that idea of she's just there as the pastor's wife. So let's just give her the respect as a pastor's wife. But we know the main person.
Or is it because you are younger? I mean,
Not even, not really younger or older. I think it's a perspective that people actually have. You know, come to look at where you find out that maybe the pastor comes in and they were like, Papa, you're welcome, Papa. They are, you know, that honor, they're ready to prostrate. But when the pastor's wife
they're listening.
comes, yes, when the pastor's wife comes up, it's like, Mama, that's honor, as in that honor is not there. Like, at first I was like, what's going on? Is it that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do? Or am I not making impact? So at the time, I had to sit down and I stopped getting angry over it. So I asked myself, what is it that you're not doing well? Or what is it that you need to do for your impact to be shown?
That's a better approach.
Yeah. not just seeking for respect from the people, but actually gaining the respect. So I now decided to make impact. And just like I told you, in the single forum, in the married forum, I decided to start making impact. So I unveiled my program, just is for the exceptional royals. I call it exceptional royals, just for single and married ladies. Okay, that is outside the single and married series I run monthly. This one is just for single and married ladies. So we gather together. I make sure that it's a forum where everybody pours. You know, women have a lot deep down in their hearts. So many things to pour out. They are burdened, they are depressed with the load of, like the singles are thinking of who will be my husband. Am I sure he's the right man? Or are you sure this will happen? And then the married are there struggling with children, husband, and then their external families, mother, father, and the depression is just much. So the idea is to bring them out and let them know that even in the midst of these situations and so much burden here and there, you can actually smile.
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Please don't go away. Stay tuned.
Almighty God, Prince of Peace, I have victory in you, the living word, Lamb of God. I have victory in you. Oh, I'm a seed of Abraham, a joint heir with Christ. The victory is mine, 'cause I am yours, more than conqueror. You have made a way, I always win. Oh, victory is in Jesus.
Come back. I'm still speaking with Mrs. Victoria Samuel Eju. So we were talking about, you know, you were talking about you being honored and not being honored. But you know something that I liked is because you said you had to go back to check yourself. What is it that you're doing right and what is it you're not doing right? You know, because most people would, you know, look for somebody to blame and expect them to check themselves. Rather, you went back to the drawing table and right now you're receiving the honor that you deserve. Okay, so next question. Must every pastor's wife be involved in ministry? You know.
To me, yes. Every pastor's wife must be involved in ministry, although, you know, sometimes it's not every pastor's wife that actually bargains to be a pastor's wife, like me. That's one thing I never dreamt of, and I never wanted to. No, my growing stage, there is this notion I've always had that pastor's wives are caged.
Oh, really?
They are not free to do whatever they want to do. Live their life, just be you.
So what is it
And
that you would love to do if you were not a pastor?
just being there. Maybe I like being social. And that's why I really went into communication and all the rest. So that's my thing. So to me, what I thought, just like I said, my notion was that being a pastor's wife is like being caged. I grew up from a home where my dad is a pastor. And each time we do this, they'll say, pastor's children. When you do this, pastor's wife. I said, me, I can't do this kind of thing, no. So when I saw those, I said, no, this is not the kind of. So I keep saying to myself, I don't want to marry a pastor. I don't want to be a pastor's wife. In fact, you're telling me, God bless you, you're going to marry. I said, thank you, but I don't need it. So when my present husband came and seeking for my hand in marriage, he wasn't a pastor. He works in a secular, and so I was like, I said, that's what I want. I don't want a pastor and all the rest. So 2 years, 3 years into the marriage, and somebody is now telling me I'm called. Called where? Okay. And I said, if you're called me, from the beginning that this pastor thing, me, I'm not into it. So if you're called, I don't really know you're on your own. And it got to the point where I knew that this man this is what he has been ordained to do. So I had to just support him. So when I entered into it, I had to sit down and tell myself, okay, you just have to accept the fact that you are going to be a pastor's wife. Accept the fact first, then work towards it. So I had to accept the fact, and I told myself, okay, if that's what you want, I love you, and I'm ready to support you. So I had to just...
That's easy. It was just easy.
It wasn't easy. No, okay. I told you, it wasn't easy. I didn't find it funny at first, but I had to. Okay. When you love someone, you can actually go all the way out to support the person. So I had to just give into it.
Counseling? Did anybody mentor you?
Not really. Nobody mentored me. Because even one mentoring me or telling me, it even pisses me off, because I don't even want to hear it. I had to sit down.
So right now, are there benefits? Are you enjoying it as a pastor's wife?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Honoring, or there are other benefits?
Not even the honor. I think the area I enjoy most is the impact that I make in the lives of young guys, young ladies, married men, children. The impact is what thrills me. That gives me joy, because I'm this kind of person. That if I can be in a place. Okay, sorry. I can be in a place and I won't talk. I will just be there, noticing what is happening. And sometimes will be like, Vicky, talk now. What is it? I say, I don't want to talk. I don't feel like talking.
Right now, you have to stay.
When I entered into the ministry, it was all like, this is not what I bargained for. But at the point, I had to start breaking down. I had to start learning, relearning, reprogramming my system, my thoughts, my way of thinking. At first, I actually had some challenge at first, because that's my life pattern of I'll come in contact with some persons. I just go my way. I don't care. When I entered into the ministry, I now realized that some persons started complaining. Mama will just see somebody, she won't even talk to the person, she will just go away. What is happening now? Is it that she has some specific people that she talks to? And I'll be like, no, it's not like that. This is me. Yeah. And at the time, an older pastor's wife, now talked to me and said, no, that yes, I know this is you, but this is the ministry. Okay. You just have to carry people along. Else, they'll feel like you're trying to create a class. So I had to reprogram myself and started carrying people along.
The process of accepting to be a pastor's wife.
Yeah.
What was your husband's contribution? Was it, how did it support you? You know, to accept.
I'm the one supporting him because I'm the one supporting him because it wasn't my bargain at the first place. So whatever support you're talking about, I'm the one supporting.
So he just kept quiet. No. He didn't try to encourage you.
He's the one that is supposed to even give me the encouragement, because if he doesn't give me the encouragement, I can back out.
Okay.
So he was trying to see, okay, let's do it this way. Okay, which one do you want to do? Okay, what do you want to do?
Okay.
He was just giving me that free hand, and that's one thing with him. He gives me that free hand. Okay, what do you think should be done here? Okay, if that's what you want, okay, let's do it this way. He doesn't do his thing. He's not this pastor that you say, okay, this is what I want, and that is final.
Okay.
No.
He has to consult.
Yes, we talk, we rub minds together, and at the end of the day, it comes out perfectly well.
So now, how do you stay passionate about the church? I mean, the people and the program. I know you mentioned a few things, but what's that passion? What's the thing that gives you passion to stay, you know, focused on the work of God?
First and foremost, you know, one thing with this work is, first, you have to like your church.
Okay.
There are some pastors that they don't like their church. They are just there because their husbands or their husband.
They don't like the people because the people make up the church.
Before you talk about the people, the pastor. The people can be good, but the pastor is not good. Okay. So when the pastor, you know, there is this thing they say, the oil runs down from the head before it gets to the toe. Okay, so if the pastor is not okay, the church cannot be okay. So there are some pastors' wives that, if given the chance to decide, will you attend your husband's church or another church, they will quickly run to another church because they are just there enduring it. Okay. That's one thing I have come to realize, that naturally, not just because I'm the pastor's wife or he is my husband, but naturally, I just found out that I love the church on its own. Number one, because of the vision. Okay? Now, the vision is build me a team, build me an army, and build me a family. And I know in a family, what we'll talk about is love. Okay? And when you talk about the team is all about unity. When you talk about army, you're talking about group of persons coming, fighting for one cause, which is in the area of prayers. And these are the things that are revolving around in the church. And each time I come to church, I feel this excitement, this joy, this passion. That alone keeps me going. Okay.
So as a first lady of the church, do you have other pastors and their wives in your church? Like,
for now, what we have is ministers.
Okay, ministers. So how do you relate with their wives? They're married?
Some are married. Okay. Some are not married.
So what's the relationship between you and them?
It's called a relationship.
Awesome.
We just like I told you, we are family.
Yeah.
Now, what hurts the other affects the other. So with that mindset, each time we come together, maybe one person have one challenge or the other, we just gather together and make sure that what we do to help this person to come out of this situation. So just come together and then we move on. Yeah. Okay, so how should a pastor's wife behave? You know, just give me your own perspective on how you think a pastor's wife should carry herself in the church. A pastor's wife, number one, should be friend to all. Should be friend to the old and the young. Okay. Because the role a pastor's wife is playing is a role of a mother. So when it comes to that motherhood, age doesn't count. Yeah. So first, characteristics of a pastor's wife is that she has to be friendly and receptive. And that way, members will be able to come to her when they have challenge or they have issues to be addressed. And number two, a pastor's wife is not supposed to be a talkative. When I mean a talkative, a member comes to meet you and say, Mama, look at what I'm going through. You know, yesterday my husband beats me up, and right now I'm just having a second thought. I want to leave the marriage. And the next second, is everywhere. Okay. So the next time, this lady wouldn't come to you
Yeah.
to tell you anything that has to do with her marriage.
Okay.
So a pastor's wife is supposed to be someone that anyone can confide in.
Okay. So what are you called? Mommy, Mama, Mrs. Adrian?
Well, some persons call me mommy, some call me mama, but generally they call me the 6G mama.
So which one do you prefer? I know you prefer the 6G Mama.
I prefer the 6G mama.
6G Mama, what does that mean?
Well, there is this perception they have about me. They are like, Mama is everywhere. Mama is everywhere. She's everywhere in the church. Anything you want her to do, she's there. She will do it for you. So they just tagged it that she's a 6G mama. So it just carried, and everybody was like, even the smallest kid. They call it just mama.
So now, what do you guys have dress code like pastor's wife? Is there a dress code? You know,
No.
How should a pastor's wife dress?
We don't have a dress code, but normally, as a pastor's wife, you should know that modesty is what counts.
Yes.
And when we talk about modesty, modesty simply means dress in a way that you will not reveal parts of your body. Okay? Just modest dressing. Make sure when you come out, you look good, but not naked.
We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're still here with Mrs. Victoria Eju, the 6G Mama. So I read through your profile. I saw that you have a first degree in
English,
second master's in
communication, yes.
And you've written, a few books. One of them is
The Friendly Deceiver. The first book is The Friendly Deceiver.
Okay.
On the second one, which I'm about to release in a few days, is The Attraction Pie.
Oh, Friendly Deceiver. Well, just give us a brief.
The Friendly Deceiver cuts across, telling you who a friend truly is and who comes in form of a friend, but not actually a friend. How you'll be able to detect them, how to follow them, and how you'll be able to come out of their web.
Okay. And the other one will be launched very
Soon, I think in a few days' time.
Oh.
The Attraction Pie. Oh, very lovely.
Attraction for singles, like getting attracted
It's not just for singles. I think it cuts across both the old, the young. It's just for everyone.
Okay. So now, what are you going to...
Especially for those that wants to be attractive. Yeah. Beyond the looks.
Okay, attractive inside and outside.
Just there.
Oh, okay, so... Okay, so what's going to be your advice to young pastors' wives?
Okay. Number one, I want them to look at their husband as their number one fan. Okay. When I mean number one fan, there is one thing with pastors. They get more excited and they feel happy when they find out that their wives are their number one fans. Okay. And how will they know? You promote your husband, promote the ministry, and promote the assignments. So if you're able to do that, it helps the work and the assignments to grow faster. And then number two, they should strive to grow personally, not just that name. Beyond pastor's wife name. Okay. Personal growth. Read books, educate yourself more, go out, meet people, interact. Just have this mindset that outside the name pastor's wife, this is my personality, my logo. Okay. This is who I am. So that if they remove that name and that title from you, there should be something remaining inside of you that is outside the ministry. Okay? Then number
Three.
3, they should support their husband prayerfully. These men, truly, they need prayers. You know, they pray more for people. Their focus is this family. Oh, this family is having issues. Let me pray for them. Oh, somebody needs a job. They pray. They don't care about themselves. So the only person that will remember to pray for them is the wife. So they should pay attention on putting their knees down and praying for the man while he's busy outside. Then number 4, have in mind that every stage there is a challenge. And the ability to scale through each of the challenge is what makes it. Like me, I'm going to say this, and while we were coming up in ministry, I had this challenge. You know, I got married 2003. Our marriage is 18 years now. And at a point, while at the 5th year, I haven't given birth. And you know, these talks of, she has not put to bed, what's happening? Why is she barren? Can't she give birth? And all the rest. And at that stage, we've already started the ministry, and see some persons will be like, when you're advising them, why are you not coming to church on time? What happened? Why all this? You're supposed to be in church. You're supposed to come to church. I say, Mama, you won't understand. Mama, you won't understand. Children, husband. And I'll be like, oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I won't understand because I don't have a child. So I'll be like, oh, sorry. And I will just walk away. It's a challenge.
Do that, or you just...
No, intentionally some do it.
Okay.
You know, there are sometimes some persons speak to you, you through their actions, you know what they mean. So at that point, it was a challenge to me. And it makes me run back into my shell, and I'll be like, even though they don't come to church and all the rest, no problem. Everybody should just do their thing and all the rest. But a particular one that actually touched me was a lady my husband actually prayed for, but she doesn't attend my church. And at that moment, she conceived, and when she put to bed, she told the husband specifically that my husband has to be the one to dedicate the child. And the pastor's wife got angry. She was like, why would Pastor Sam be the one to dedicate the child when my husband is there and all the rest? And the woman said, please, Mama, I want this man to be the one to dedicate the child. So on that specific day, they invited my husband back to the church again because he went there to minister before he prayed for the woman. So when he went there and the lady brought forth the child and he finished the dedication, do you know what the pastor's wife said? Said, it's not by dedicating other people's children. You should also dedicate yours. This is not coming from a member. And it wasn't coming from an unbeliever. It was coming from a pastor's wife. So my husband came back that day feeling moody. And I was asking, I said, dear, what is it? Are you okay? He said, no problem. I said, well, you went out looking happy and all of a sudden you're back. Tell me now, you know, you're my gist partner, you're my dad, you know, giving him sweet talks. And he told me, he said, do you know what? So pastor's wife told me. I said, what happened? He said, that is not by dedicating other people's children. That is to dedicate your own. If you have, God has given you power to pray for another person to give birth, you should also pray for your wife. I don't know whether she said it out of envy or out of anger, but it actually touched him. Not just because he said it, but coming from the pastor's wife. So when he was telling me that, narrating that to me, tears started running down his eyes. And I joined. We started crying. So we started crying. At that moment, it was a deep challenge to us, you know. And
so what did you guys do?
We did nothing. We had to pray. We said, God, well, it's in your hand. But do you know that years after I conceived, that was after 9 years into my marriage. Yes, 9 years. We stayed for 9 years before I conceived. And years into that, when I actually conceived and had my first daughter, when I put to bed, she called. That same pastor's wife, she called. They said, congratulations, so I heard that you put to bed. Oh. I said, thank you, ma. She said, thank God, though, finally. I said, yes, finally God has done it. And after then, you know one thing God does. When he wants to do his own thing, he does it, even it will exceed your expectation. Yeah. And when I gave birth to my first daughter, Hefziba, it was just 6 months by. I didn't know that I've taken in again. 6 months. So I went to the hospital and then I realized that I've taken. I was like, 6 months. What will people say? So this baby is still. I was just. My mom said, "Don't complain." When you were crying, you didn't remember. Now that God has started, don't complain. Do you know that my first daughter was just 1 year and 3 months when I put to bed? Okay. And guess what? Twin, a boy and a girl.
Wonderful.
So they were like triplets. Yeah. 3 of them wearing pampers. So she called again. She was like, I hate you put to bed the twin. Now, wow. I say, glory to God. So that period, it was actually a challenging. 9 years is not 9 days. Yeah. It's not actually 9 months. It was really challenging. But in that period, we stood.
Thank God for that.
So that's it.
Yeah. So, viewers, you've heard it all from the 6G Mama. Really, thank you for coming, and I enjoyed this program, sharing this period with you.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, and please do not forget to press the notification button and like, share, send your comments and your questions to our comment section. We'll see you soon. Bye.
I have victory in you, the living word, Lamb of God. I have victory in you. Oh, I'm a seed of Abraham, a joy